I want to talk a little bit about First Associates and the operational risk assessment and ranking that we provided to them. And since Larry's got notes and David has slides, I'm going to refer to my notes because I am not an analyst, but I do read the reports, and I was impressed with a number of things. That is our top-ranked seal. It doesn't go to everybody. You have to achieve a top ranking in the assessment in order to utilize that, and then we have a license that allows people to use that across any of their marketing materials. So I'm glad to see that they're making good use of it. A lot of design hours went into that. So we were engaged by First Associates in early 2017 to provide them with a third-party independent operational risk assessment. And the operational risk assessment is a way for service providers in the market, in this case a servicer, to demonstrate to the marketplace that their operations are able to meet or exceed mission-critical functions. So it's a pretty in-depth process. I'm happy to say that First Associates did come away with an MOR 1, which means that they exceed all prudent standards for their industry. If they hadn't, I'm not quite sure I'd be here right now, but they did. So just talking a little bit about the process. It really starts out first with discussion, transfer of some information, review of that information by our analytical group. We schedule an on-site visit where we can tour the operations of the company. There are very in-depth discussions with management at the organization. And then we conduct a review of various facets of the organization, from the culture, the management structure. We look at employee turnover. We look at performance of their portfolio. We look at other company performance statistics, whether it be the call response. We look at internal and third-party audit reports. We look at their compliance and risk management structure, as well as their technology infrastructure. And going through the analyst results, I want to highlight a couple of the key conclusions that we walked away with. First and foremost, we said there was a very pervasive enterprise risk management and compliance protocols in place, which is very important. That included self-risk assessment, quality assurance, their call monitoring and scoring. David mentioned the artificial intelligence, which we were very impressed with. And really, and also a robust vendor management to make sure that any vendors that they're working with have also been vetted to make sure that they can also meet the high standards that First Associates requires. Extensive training and compliance curriculum, comprehensive policies and procedures to ensure that their employees perform in accordance with industry best practices. Independent third-party auditing, very important. It's good to have that. It gives us another view into the business. Above average call center metrics, good portfolio volume growth, diversity in their client base, and minimal client turnover. Again, all very important observations. I mentioned artificial intelligence. The last one, there are two other things that I want to mention we thought was very impressive. They mentioned the facility in Tijuana. The business has been built and set up to be scalable so that they have a lot of room for growth. That facility plays a big role in that. Also, their technology infrastructure, cloud-based technology infrastructure, third-party servicing system, well-defined project management process, and again, they leverage that cloud-based computing, and knowing it as big of an initiative that is for Morningstar, it allows them to scale very quickly. So those were just some of the key highlights. And I just want to say these what we actually do after we do the assessments, we put out a report. It could be anywhere from 10 to 30 pages that has our full analysis. So I would encourage anybody, if you're a client of First Associates and you're using it for your own vetting process of vendors, to go to our website and get it if Larry hasn't already sent it over to you. Provides an in-depth review of our assessment of the organization. And again, I'd encourage anybody, if you're working with other servicers in the space, to encourage them to come to us, to Morningstar. I think it's been beneficial. And by the way, we provide rankings on probably about 50 servicers across the structured finance markets. And it's the general feedback is that the reviews are very strong, very in-depth, and that it allows them to build their business and gives their clients confidence that they're meeting these mission-critical protocols. So, again, that's all that I had, and I want to thank you again for allowing me to be here, and nice to meet all of you.
Thank you.